what's up? It's your boy KB, and this is Maybe You Needed to Hear This Today. Oh man. So, I think one thing that is important to talk about is pride and ego. Ego. Pride and ego are like the two biggest killers, man. Because it stops people from healing. Honestly, I think if you looked at everybody that just can't seem to, it is, they just feel like they have too much pride. They feel like there's no way that they could actually, they're different. Everybody thinks, the only reason I say this is because I know. I think that I'm different, but we're all, these human beings that the simple fix is just like connection. Sweet connection with our brethren, brothers and sisters, yeah. Connection with our brothers and sisters, oh yeah. But no, seriously though, it's talking because then whenever you do that, you isolate. You know what I mean? You do all that, you fight in your head, blah 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 blah. You just get down. The depression and stuff. It is really hard to admit that you made a mistake, and usually not just like oopsie. Usually, if you're at a point where you need like some real change, like there's quite a bit of things that have added up, and not that anybody's like constantly rubbing your nose in it or whatever. But you have to admit that you have played the role in a lot of negative aspects of your life and a lot of the negative events and stuff that have happened. Not like it's all your fault. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what any of this is. It's not like everything's your fault and you're a horrible human being. It's usually there's multiple people involved, so everybody kind of probably, but like, okay, you played a part in it, you know what I mean? You did something shitty, and it's not like a shaming ritual. But once you can like let go of that, because that's kind of one of the things that like we carry around is like this, once you can just like lay it down and just say like, you know what, like I'm a flawed human being. I think that's kind of like why people, have such a strong emotional reaction sometimes, like when they get saved, or you know what I mean, like, are in the church and they're experiencing, there's a lot of people around them and everybody's focusing on the same thing, and then when you accept him, you're letting go, you're mentally letting go of that load of sin that you've been carrying around, so you feel relief, like a huge amount of relief. But not too long after that, depending on if you don't make any changes in your life after that basket that you laid down that day, like it starts getting filled back up again, and pretty quickly sometimes, sometimes more quickly than others, I think, and then maybe the second hit of that doesn't hit quite the same, you know what I mean? But that's because not because it's not real, or not because you don't feel it, it's that you're missing the real message of it. You know what I mean? Like there's the layer, the outside layer of everything that you see, and like realize, okay, repent, letting go. But the actual work of being a better person requires letting that ego and the pride on the floor and making yourself of service to the people around you. And sometimes that's just being a nice person while you're driving. Letting people take the turns or be assholes, and let them cut you off, whatever. I mean, I'm not suggesting, but or sometimes being the nice guy at the line of the grocery store, or there's a ton of different ways. There are angels walking amongst us. You know what I mean? And of course, the media or anything's ever going to cover the good things because people, they want us to feel isolated and alone, and we're not. And it's when we're together and we're working in the same vibration and on the same goal and focusing on the same thing, amazing thing. Like, imagine the pyramids of Giza, like whatever those things were in operation, and having probably these crazy rituals. But that's what rituals are. That's what. I'm not trying to sound like an occult, but I know for me, whenever I was finally able to lay it like down, I was able to kind of also lay that person to rest too. You know what I mean? I was able to move on and just be me now. So, and I really like that. Okay, well, I said I was gonna, I told myself I was gonna do this tonight, and I did.